Each shows up in Power Query all over the place, and it's one of the easiest things to misunderstand. Hi, I'm Melissa. So before we talk about what each is, let's talk about what it's not, because it's not a loop, and it's not an iterator. It's not the current row or the current item. Each is not exclusive to tables. So here's what each actually is, and what it does. Each is a single parameter, untyped function. It's most commonly used by functions that iterate values. And when its sole parameter, the underscore, is passed as an argument, it represents whatever the calling function is iterating. And that's it. Once this clicks, M-code starts to make way more sense. Each is described as syntactic shorthand for declaring an untyped function. A function expression that looks like this. There's a set of parentheses that lists the underscore as sole parameter. A parameter is just a name. It gives us something that we can refer to. Then there's that rocket-like sign. That's the goes to sign, and it's followed by a function body. Inside a function body, a parameter can be called by its name. And below it, we see the each expression. Each is shorthand. The keyword is immediately followed by an expression body. Unlike other functions, it doesn't have a parameter list. It is intentionally designed to process one single thing, and its sole parameter, that's the underscore. So where does each show up in Power Query? Well, it appears in many expressions that are automatically generated for you. Anywhere a function is provided, that each keyword shows up, because each is that function, and it's written for us. Let me demonstrate. So when you filter a table, Table.SelectRows asks for a function. We make a choice inside the user interface, and behind the scenes, the M engine generates the appropriate syntax. Inside the formula bar, you can see the each keyword is being used to create that function. Table.SelectRows then invokes this function for every row in the table that it's iterating to produce the final result. And if you look closely, you'll also understand the reason for a lot of confusion. Because, well, take a closer look. Where's that parameter? I'm not seeing an underscore. Well, brace yourself. Rules have exceptions. And this is where it gets a little technical. When each interacts with generalized identifiers, the underscore can be omitted. So field access, that's calling a field name inside of square brackets, classifies as generalized identifier. And here we see that Table.SelectRows iterates a table. Every row inside this table is a record. Therefore, the underscore represents a record in this context. A record that is accessed by naming a field within square brackets. And so the underscore can be omitted. And this behavior isn't limited to tables. This List.Select function is iterating a list with records. So the same exception applies. And the underscore may be omitted. But when we're not pressing records, or using a defined custom function, a parameter is required and may not be omitted. So for example, when List.Select iterates a list with numbers, an underscore must be provided. And here, when Table.SelectRows iterates using a custom function expression, a parameter must be provided. If not, an expression error is raised. Let me show you. So let's debunk the two most common misconceptions. 1. Each is an iterator or a loop. Well, false. A caller function is the iterator, and we've seen examples like Table.SelectRows and List.Select. Those are the functions that are doing the iteration. Each is just a simplified function declaration, nothing more. And 2. Each is the current row or the current item. False. The parameter belonging to each, that's the underscore, represents whatever the caller function is iterating. Only when processing a table, that is guaranteed to be a record. Each is an anonymous untyped function with a single parameter, named the underscore. It is shorthand that makes code more readable. And once you see each for what it really is and know what it is doing, code becomes much easier to understand. If you found this helpful, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps more people find this channel and helps me making more content like this. Thank you for watching. Till next time.